All right, Dylan, I'm going to show you how to take care of this LiPo battery, how to charge it and balance it. So you have there's a LiPo, it's actually a multifunction charger. It'll charge pretty much anything, but I would just use it for the LiPo so you don't have to change the settings. It comes with a power supply and this little pigtail with a bunch of different connectors on it. You'll be using this red connector with the red boot on it. It's called a Dean's connector or a T slot. It's not really important. It's just the one that fits into the other end of the battery lead. The battery's also got a balance port on it. So what you do is when you want to charge the battery, you just plug the charger in. So there's like a regular outlet cord here. Just plug it into a regular outlet. And it'll come up with its welcome screen. And it'll be set on lithium battery as a default. So what you want to do is you want to plug the charging lead. It's going to be tough to do this and hold the camera, so I'm just going to do it off camera. Plug the charging lead into the battery. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then you want to make sure that you take your balance lead, this little white thing, and you want to plug that into the 2S port on the battery. So you see there's a bunch of different balance ports here. And you can charge any from a 2-cell battery up to a 6-cell battery. This is a 2-cell battery, and the only plug it'll fit in is this 2-cell receptacle here. So you just plug that guy in there. The other thing you want to do is use a LiPo bag, which, hang on, I brought one down for you. Let me find it. Where did I put that thing? There it is. This is a LiPo charging bag. So basically what it does is it just protects the surroundings from the battery if something should happen while the battery is charging. As long as the battery's inside of this case, if it does catch fire, it'll contain the fire. LiPos are a little bit dangerous. If you take care of them, they're pretty safe. But if you abuse them, they can be dangerous. So this is just more of like a, better safe than sorry type thing. And the reason that we plug this charging lead in is because if you don't balance charge the batteries, that's when they can start to degrade and cause problems. As long as you're not overcharging or over discharging a LiPo battery, you should be pretty good. So this basically what this does is it allows the 2 cells to it kind of leaks current between the 2 cells, so they actually stay at the same voltage level throughout the charging. So if you go to the screen here, there's 2 things you'll be doing, possibly a 3rd thing, but the main things are if you click this the status, you can select different battery types, but we're going to keep it on lithium. Press start, and it's set up for your battery, which is it's a 5,000 milliamp hour, which the charging rate for that is 5 amps, and the voltage is 2S. And if you click these arrow keys, you'll see the mode change from balance to charge to fast charge to storage to discharge. If you're going to charge, you always want to balance charge. And to do that, how do you make it go? I don't want to change that stuff. I just want to make it go. So we're going to look at the manual. And I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so I got it now. So click the arrows until you see balance charge here, and then you hold the enter key down for a couple seconds. And it'll check to make sure the settings are correct. And what it's saying is that there's 2 cells in serial, which is correct. So you just press enter again, and then it'll start doing the actual charging. So it's telling you that it's balance charging, the 2S LiPo at 5 amps, and this is the, I think this is the milliamp hours that it's putting into it. And you'll slowly see this number go up as you wait for it to charge. If you press the status button, it'll cycle between a couple of screens here. These are millivolts. The battery voltage is in millivolts. So that's 3.8 volts per cell, which is the storage voltage. That's going to take them up to 4.2, and it'll stop automatically at 4.2. So the total voltage will be 8.4 when it stops, more or less. It's pretty close. It'll be pretty close to 8.4, and the individual cells would be at 4.2. So you just let that go. It'll charge it until the peak voltage is reached. It should take less than an hour because it's a 5,000 milliamp battery, which means it'll take an hour to charge at 5 amps to charge it completely. 5,000 milliamp hour battery, or 5 amp hour battery, means it takes 1 hour to charge at 5 amps or 5 hours to charge at 1 amp. So you don't really have to worry about that. Just plug it in, make sure it's set to the right LiPo settings, and just press the start key. Hold it down for a couple seconds, confirm the cell count, and then it's off and running. So I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to change it to, so if you've been out running the truck, and well, first of all, when you want to do the balanced charging is when you want to get it to the full charge because you're about to go out and run it. After you've gone out and ran it, and you come back and it's totally discharged, you want to do and you're not going to use it again right away, you want to do a storage charge. So just change it to storage, press enter for a couple of seconds, and it'll confirm that it's 2 cells. Just hit enter, and it'll take it up to, what it's going to do is take it to 3.8 volts per cell. And this is saying it's done already because it's already at 3.8 volts per cell. So you just hit stop, it's done. It's saying 7.4 volts, so it's pretty close. It's not exact, but if we go back to balance charge, this is telling us we're at 3.8 volts per cell. So it's a little bit different, the voltage that it reads, if it's in charge mode, because it's actually adding current, and that actually bumps the voltage up a little bit. But anyway, the important thing is that if you're not going to be using the battery for a little while, you want to get it to the storage charge of 3.8 volts per cell. So you just change that to storage, hit enter again. And now you see it's almost right at 7.6 volts, so it's just going to stop. So you can leave this battery stored. I would leave it in the case just to be safe. You can leave it stored like that, like indefinitely. It's pretty safe in that 3.8 volts. If you leave it stored at fully charged at 4.2, that's when some funky things can happen. People have reported that the batteries can start to swell, and that's when you have to start worrying about whether it's going to short out. And that's when you see the videos of people who's, they're driving along and their truck catches fire because the battery is damaged. But as long as you're storage charging it, and as long as you balance charge it before you use it, you should be okay. Now, if you take your truck out, if you fully charge it, you take the truck out, and something happens and you don't discharge